Welcome back to Canadian Justice, where we're discussing the new course being offered by the Canadian Constitution Foundation on Constitutional Law 101, which you can sign up for free at theccf.ca/learn. Now, Joanna, I've noticed there has been a lot of misunderstanding about our fundamental freedoms and about our Constitution over the last 2 years. What are some of the common misperceptions that the public might have about our rights?
So on the one side, I would say that there's, and I even have had to remind, I hate to say, lawyer friends of mine of this, that basically the structure of constitutional rights is they're held by individuals against the state. They don't just exist in some, we don't live in a soup of constitutional law. I think probably the most common inquiry I've gotten, including from lawyer friends, is about employer policies, for example, vis-a-vis vaccination. Well, employers are not the government. Even if the employer is the government in their relation to you as their employee, it is not a relationship of state exercising absolute power against an individual. So that's just basic misconception that I see all the time. On the other side, I would say that there has been a big misconception that in instances of emergency or crisis, rights can just be cast to the sidelines. Well, no, the fathers of Confederation and the framers of the Charter very clearly anticipated that crises, pandemics, wars, conflicts were going to come up, and these were things that they wanted guaranteed in our constitutional architecture, no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we should have sign up some of our political leaders for the course as well, because they certainly seem to have forgotten this. Now, Chantal, I want to ask you a similar question. You work as a criminal defense lawyer or as an articling student in criminal defense law. What are some common misperceptions about Canada's Constitution and criminal law in particular that you think education like this course could help clear up?
Well, one that really matters to me a lot is that it seems to me that most people will think that accused persons have all of these rights, which is true. But at the same time, while the rights that protect the accused persons in the Charter come into play once they're accused, that anybody can have them in life, because if you get asked a question by a police officer, or if you get detained per COVID restrictions, or like for any type of your car gets stopped on the side of the road, and you get asked questions, and all of these things that can pretty much happen to any citizen who's just living their lives. You have all of these rights not to be detained, unduly detained, not to be arrested without being they're having reasons for the police officer to do so, because of the fact that these rights do profit to people who are accused of a criminal charge. So even though you aren't going to be accused of anything eventually, or well, who knows? The fact is that it's because of those rights that we live in a free and democratic society, that you can walk around not in fear of being intercepted by the police for no reason, and that you know that these protections exist, and that if you do get intercepted, then you have the right to call a lawyer and to know what the charge is against you and all of these things.
So important that people have an understanding of the rights that they have vis-a-vis the state, especially in the context of being a criminally accused. It's not the accused that have all these rights. We all have these rights at all times. It's just that they're in play when you're an accused person. Now, Russ, you, in your role as a communications director for the CCF, you receive a lot of feedback from the public. What are some common misunderstandings about our rights that you see, and how can this course help people better understand their rights?
Yeah, I mean, most of the feedback I've been getting for this course has been extremely positive. But outside of that, sometimes you get it's funny. You get messages from people who think some of our claims are in favor of rights go too far, or other people who say that we're not doing enough. And there's always there's always trouble with that, trying to explain to people. And probably first and foremost, the biggest thing is some people don't exactly know how the charter works and that it applies to state actors specifically, and they see their rights as being violated by other private citizens, and that's not exactly how it works, of course.
Yeah, such an important point, and such a common misperception that we see all the time. We've got to go to commercial break, but we're going to continue this discussion when we get back.